BENUCCI of Italy. Let's hand over to the stadium announcer to introduce them out. Well, Richard, here we go. I think I have to say that we talked about perhaps unusual lineups for the finals here, and I think I have to say that the one side of the draw looked fairly obvious early on in the day. Would you agree with me there?
I did, though one of the things that was interesting is in the last 8 you had 2 Russians fencing each other and 2 Germans fencing each other, and you know, at that stage in the competition you can't avoid often your countrywoman or countryman, and of course when you get that happen you don't often have lively matches because people know their team members' way of fencing so well. Yeah,
so in this RODIONOVA coming through the top, she actually beat her teammate in the quarterfinals, and those 2 Germans went up each other, Zopka and Wolf in the other quarterfinal in the top half, but RODIONOVA dominated the semi-final over Zopka, taking it 10-4. Down at the bottom end of the draw, Veltsin looked like she was the woman to beat in the bottom half of the draw, but BENUCCI went up against Lantazio, and that's something that you referred to, that was a complete turnaround from what I think everyone expected with later BENUCCI going through, and she then went through a squeezy tight affair in that bottom half in the semi-final, taking out Silke Vensin in a priority minute. Too tough to call because you got the yes, perhaps favoured athlete from Russia, Inessa RODIONOVA, here by merit, but when someone battles their way through to a medal match, sometimes
you can't tell, you know, the force is with you. I'd have thought RODIONOVA is the firm favourite, but we can easily see an upset.
Yep, I think we certainly can. And we are now underway for this gold medal match. Last of the women's foil individual matches here in Cairo.
You'll see that RODIONOVA, of course, mostly all in white, but she's got bright turquoise shoes. It reminds me that at Christmas, 2 Christmases ago, I gave my épéiste daughter bright gold shoes, and the soles had lighting up lights in different colours, and I dared her to use it for a World Cup event, and she did, and the referee said, you can keep the gold shoes, but you can't light up your soles.
Do you know who that referee is? Can we name check them? They've got a new female referee out there as well. I think she's been on assisting duties today, but hats off to Serbian Ana Kovrija, one of the top female foil referees on the circuit at open level, giving her services to the veterans here. There's a lot of top circuit referees here, and I think one and all should be grateful for them being out here. You had Andres Duvis, probably the most recognised of the senior sabre referees out on the field for your competitions.
Yes, it used to be, I'm afraid, that when the veterans began, it wasn't taken seriously, and you'd get a lot of B-grade referees, and that's really changed, and the standard is wonderful.
Yeah, another sign here that Cairo has done a great job. Finally, the attack lands for Elena BENUCCI, perhaps a bit more of what you see on the main circuit these days, the blade staying out of the way and then coming in at the last minute.
As I understand it, the money from the pools in Italy, the soccer pools, is taken by the government and redistributed to the sports. and fencing gets a huge amount of money from the Italian government because it regularly brings in a huge amount of medals in the Olympics.
One of their most successful sports. Referee calling for a delay there. I agree with that, but I wonder if Rodionova is going to call for a video here. I think she's looking and looking and looking for the blade, and BENUCCI decides enough's enough and just launches an attack, and that's what Rodionova reacts off. We'll see though. Referee comes back.
One of the things that people outside fencing don't like is you've got men and women, you've got 3 weapons, and you've got individual and team. So given that there are 3 medals for each individual event and for the team event, it's a huge haul of medals for one sport to have. So putting money into fencing in terms of governments thinking that the Olympics is good for propaganda really pays off.
But it's in no way competes with cycling, sailing, athletics. So there are
athletics,
hundreds and hundreds of medals.
No, if you're an athletic steeplechase runner, you know there are 3 medals: gold medal, silver, and bronze.
Well, I suppose you could argue that, but then if you're a female foilist, there's only 1 medal.
Yeah, but you still get people doing more than one weapon.
It's certainly at vets level you do. That's for sure. It's few and far between.
No, this won't wash. You're going to say soccer in the Olympics? You just get gold, silver, bronze. Huge number of people.
Yes, I do agree with that counter that soccer is
hockey,
basketball. Yeah, there are sports out there. What's your take on golf?
Well, at least it's not like some of the sports, roller skating or whatever, beach badminton, which of course is hugely popular. But the fact that fencing brings in so many medals is one of the reasons why governments like to back it.
And of course it is in the traditional side of it as well, in Italy and France, where it's still a national sport.
Hungary too. I think Hungary gives more government money to fencing than anything besides swimming. It used to be true of Germany. I don't know whether it's true now. Germany, it was soccer, then fencing.
Yeah, no, I think fencing may have dropped down the order there. But on review, and Korea went to the video by her own volition there. It's BENUCCI who's drawn the level here. Rodionova looked like she was bossing this right from the start, but it's the canniness of the Italian fencers.
Neither fencers, interestingly, is sitting down as much as their older colleagues.
No, and the other thing I've noticed, Richard, is the distance is either super far away from each other or what looks like dangerously close.
Very much so, yeah. They ought to be the most mobile of the age groups.
But that's the tactics here, countering and cancelling them out there. Rodionova looking for the beat attack, going into the low line and hitting the leg there, so below the target area, which is just the torso of the body in foil.
Nice barrier pass.
So it looks to me like BENUCCI is trying to lure Rodionova out into doing something and then reacting off that.
Yes. It's so close.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, holding her arm well back.
And it's a wonder why Rodionova is either diving in with a closing counter or trying to land a stop hit.
Yeah.
When they're that close, I mean. Look at that, it's not even lunging distance away from each other.
Very nice counter time.
So Rodionova playing BENUCCI at her own game there, stepping in, trying to lure something out from her, and she fell for the trap. The favourite is 4 hits up as we close out the first period here. So that will do it for period number 1. We're halfway through this last gold medal match on day 3 of the World Veterans Fencing Championships. It's a Cat A women's foil competition, and the favourite, Rodionova from Russia, is leading 7-3 over BENUCCI from Italy. The distance here, Richard, is exceptionally close. I'm really surprised.
So am I. I mean, in sabre, distance is so vital that you really can't afford to get to close quarters, go get clobbered. And I feel that's true of the other weapons as well. To see these fencers fencing so close really surprises me.
I mean, the only thing that I can say is, I mean, I haven't seen enough of them. I've seen enough to say BENUCCI's fenced really well and really battled through. Rodionova's got a really nice sharp hand, and she's very technically gifted. But the only thing that I can imagine being prepared to be so close and not actually try and hit your opponent is that you're worried that their reaction speed, both of them are worried about each other's reaction speed with the parry riposte.
Yeah, but Rodionova fenced the quarters and the semis with real sense of distance, and it's not nearly as close. So it looks like a conscious strategic decision.
Deliberate from both fencers. You know, we're only saying that we're surprised by the distance because it's so surprising, not because they're not deciding deliberately to do that. Because you've got to say, these two fencers are in the World Championship final. They know what they're doing. So now we're seeing a little bit more activity from Rodionova on her feet. Starting to see a bit more bouncing.
Wasted chance. Hits off target.
Nice.
Well timed. Slightly quicker hand.
And what I thought was particularly special about that was there was a little half step away from Rodiova, gave her the room to do that little disengage. So now we see BENUCCI having to force the match. Maybe going a little early, pushing a little too hard, too fast. She's still got 2.5 minutes odd left to go in this fight. Oh,
what a hit.
I'm near the line, says the Russian. I'm going to try and finish this one off. Slow burner, that's for sure.
Yes, he's just got a quicker hand.
Yeah, now just establishing the right of way with a beat as well, to make sure of things. There's that parry riposte. Going into the leg this time.
BENUCCI's body language is saying, I'm not going to be able to catch up.
Referee's going to go and have a look at this one of her own volition, but for me, the attack started from the left, and
I agree with you.
Rodionova is going to get the world title here. I can understand it's a World Championship final. The referee making a conscious decision herself to go and just double check this one. Having a good old chat over this one.
Well, we're right next to where the referee and the video referee are looking at the video film, and it's good they're having a very good conversation to make sure they get it right.
Here we go. Masks back on. Anna Karuvia giving it as attack into preparation.
Well, there you are.
And that's why she's a good referee,
yeah.
Because for me it clearly looked like Rodionova's,
the other way around,
but there was
I agree.
nothing that I could see that was anything different. But Anna Karuvia knew what she was doing, but it didn't take long for Inessa Rodionova to finish it off. A dominant performance that